Hello, everybody, and welcome to your March month ahead reading. As I was tuning into the energy of the month of March, I got a lot of white, and I think I already posted this on my socials, but I also got like snowdrops, that imagery of white, fresh flowers. So definitely a feeling of rejuvenation and a brand new start for this month, which I don't know about you, but that sounds great to me. But before we get into it, I do want to remind you that I am available for personal readings, healings, and clearings. I will leave a link to all of that in the description below if you are interested in personalized content. I am here for you. So let's take a look at our lovely groups. We have 3 this time. For group number 1, you have this beautiful Howlite star. Group number 2 has this pendulum that rarely sees the light of day. It was one of my first ones I ever got. I believe, if this will focus, there we go. This is, oh, look at that schiller. Tourmalated quartz. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what that is. And group number 3 has this adorable Howlite moon. So please take as much time as you need. Pause the video here if you need to take a couple of deep breaths to check in with your guidance. Everyone's been invited to the sacred space already. So if you know which one you are choosing, please feel free to click the timestamp below to fast forward to the beginning of your reading. And I will see you there. So for group number 1, if you chose the Howlite star, let's go ahead and get your messages for the month of May. I want to start here with a theme for your month, but before I do, they are reminding me to ask for your sacred permission to connect to your energy and deliver Spirit's messages today. Okay, if you said yes, then I am assuming you are still here. When Spirit does that, that usually means that something pretty real is about to come through. So let's see what your theme is that you'll be dealing with for the month of March. Have I been saying May? I've been meaning to say March. You have knowledge, number 28. Let me connect above and below. Let the knowledge of ancestors flow. Okay, that's definitely why they wanted sacred permission. I'm still not sure if I said this out loud or if I thought it, but the month of March was coming through pretty strongly for you, so that could be a significant time. Maybe you are expecting something to happen in the month of May that your ancestors want to provide some reassurance for. But it seems like you are preparing something, so there could be a goal or a trip or a new job, moving, something that requires research around that time of May that keeps coming up. I'm getting very Taurian, Taurus energy. So you could also be gathering resources. For example, if you are packing for a trip, maybe you need to buy a new outfit or another set of shoes that you weren't expecting to. So it seems like I'm watching you make a list and you're going down and checking it twice, like Santa Claus, making sure to not leave any stone unturned. This also feels like some type of wish fulfillment. So if you are wanting to move jobs and you're applying, but you're not sure if it's going to work out, or if you're wanting to move house and you're not sure if this is going to work out, it feels like Spirit is asking you to hang in there for a little bit longer in this holding period where you are meant to collect and store not only knowledge, but your energy. This feels like a really important time for you, although I know sometimes that's frustrating to be in a holding period. So let's get some tarot on the table and see what type of dynamic that we are dealing with here. Of course, we have the Enchanted Forest Tarot. I think I mentioned in the intro, we had some unique decks today, not our usuals. Okay, for group number 1, I know we're asking about the month of March, but there seems to be a big focus on May for them. So what are we dealing with here, Spirit? Okay. The first one we had fall out down here is the Knight of Wands. This is holographic, so I hope you are able to see that. Maybe down here, you're able to see the text a little better. We also have the Tower, number 16. Okay, so it seems like you're worried about something going wrong and wanting to avoid disaster. That makes sense, why you would be focusing so much on planning for every single thing that could possibly happen. So that's what your ancestors in spirit are wanting to help out with for today. Okay. We also have strength. And lastly, for tarot, we have the Five of Wands. I almost said interessante. So are you even looking at like picking up a new language or something? That was funny. Okay, let's see here. So I'm seeing so clearly that you are pretty much there with knowledge. You know what you need to, essentially, for this new chapter that's coming up. And it seems like, so they do want to acknowledge that you are in uncharted territory. So maybe you are literally traveling to a place you've never been before, somewhere that even your ancestors were unable to go to. So they're very excited and happy for you about that. They want to let you know that they will be there for you, cheering you on along the way. So please do not stress so much about like not making the connector flight, losing your luggage, something going wrong with reservations, not knowing the language, if you run out of English speakers, or I don't know. It just seems like you are really going through all of your notes of everything you've ever heard of that could possibly happen, and you are going ahead and like proactively solving the problem without the problem being there. But they do want to talk to you, dear group number 1, my planners, about your vibration. So rather than, I think protection's a great example. Sometimes I talk about this, but rather than focusing on needing protection, for example, I am protected, I am protected. If you think about it, that statement kind of acknowledges something else that I need to be protected from. So a higher vibrational way, or in other words, a more positive way to state that would be, I am safe. I am so safe. I know that I am safe. I trust that I am right where I need to be. So it seems like on that big list of yours, maybe affirming that you are or you're going to have a great time. Everything is going to go smoothly. For some of you, I'm getting big time travel because we have wands here, and strength is another fire sign. So definitely a lot of passionate, creative energy behind this. This could be career, travel, perhaps even some type of milestone in relationship. But overall, Spirit is wanting to encourage you to go a little bit easier on yourself. I can see that you are usually organizing things for the people around you, and yourself included. So maybe you just naturally fall into this role. And I'm hearing, just remember to stop working when the work is done. Stop planning when the plan is complete, if that makes sense, because they don't want you to get too worried, or to attract some type of catastrophe because you are focusing on it. What if something goes wrong? What if something goes wrong? I'm not seeing any sign that anything is going to go wrong. which is funny because usually when the tower's here, you know, that's something kind of shocking, but it feels like you're like desensitizing yourself to everything that could possibly go wrong. Does that make sense? You're like running through every possible scenario. And over here in the Knight of Wands, you're like, how could I lead myself through that? How could I fix that? Okay. So let's start to get a little bit of advice here with the feather messengers. So advice for my group number 1. Seem to be planning for something, perhaps even manifesting something, wondering if it's going to fall apart, wondering if it's going to happen. What advice do you have for them, Spirit? Okay, that kind of wanted to come out. We'll get one more for you. And there it is. We have the osprey, and there's your feather. Your success is now at hand. Allow the abundance to flow to you effortlessly. Yeah, it's almost like it might be difficult for you to accept that there's not much work left to do. So it feels like this is something that you have been preparing for or planning for a long time. It could be that you are so far into the process that it's time to hand your blueprint off to the divine and say, look, I want this job. I don't know how it's possible. Here you go. I don't know how to figure this out. I trust that wherever the chips land is going to be for my highest good. And I know that I'm safe. Or, hey, I know that I've done enough research on this trip. I'm going to start making reservations. I'm going to ask you to help me with that. So I always have a group in these readings who prefers to do everything on their own, who's used to figuring out everything in a solitary way. And I feel like that's you, group number 1. So spirit, guardian angels, ancestors, they're wanting to intervene here on your behalf. We also have the starling. Now is the time to get out into the world and connect in authentic ways. Yes, okay. Definitely resonating with messages about travel, so wanting to observe and participate in cultures that you've never seen before, food, hearing different languages, observing art, nature, that type of thing. If this is a job, meeting new people, wanting to work with different personalities, learning things that are totally new. Maybe this could even hint that something about the current situation in March, maybe you don't feel that you are your true authentic self. So that could be like a social dynamic around you. Or it could be so long that you've gone without traveling and that's really, really important to you. And finally it's going to happen and it almost seems too good to be true. It's not too good to be true. There's definitely something big for you in the works. This is bigger than I think you're anticipating. The tower can be a shock in a good way. Like it's shockingly incredible. It just kind of blows your mind. And since the tower is coupled with strength, it's coming across to me as extremely, extremely positive. Okay. I'm wanting to pull from these spirit animal cards here for you, group number 1. So what types of energies is group number 1 balancing in the month of March? What do they need to know for their highest good? What is most helpful for group number 1 to be aware of in their energy? Oh, that butterfly flashed. We will take her. And what else for group number 1? Oh, and we have the wolf. Again, this is confirming that message I got about you earlier, group number 1, that You are typically used to figuring things out in a solitary way, but Spirit is reminding you that there's a whole pack for you, even if they don't seem to show up for you physically in this very exact moment. They're definitely with you in spirit and supporting a huge personal transformation over here with the butterfly. So whatever experience is coming, and again, I feel like you know what this is if you chose this group. This is something that you've been studying for and preparing for quite some time. So this, again, feels like a very big trip or a very big career move. Possibly some type of relationship milestone, but that feels like extreme minority for this group. But it feels like you are ready for a metamorphosis. You are ready to have this experience. There's part of you that knows and understands that this will profoundly change you. It will. It really will. And it might be kind of difficult to grasp that right now, but I think deep down you know that. So if this is work, I feel like you are going to be working with a group of people that feel like home. And I could almost cry about that. So maybe you've had a very difficult time, which I really feel for you. I've definitely been there, just feeling totally alone in your work, feeling like you're having to figure things out on your own, like you don't know who to trust. That's why you feel like you have to always have your own research ready to go. There's an element to that that is empowering, but it can also be exhausting. Okay, so I definitely see you in that. Absolutely. It's time for that to change. It's time for that to transform so that you can relax and connect, express yourself as you authentically are, not having to filter everything that you're saying, everything that you're doing. And for some of you who are going on a trip, it's being on the trip and celebrating and, having the means and the plan ready to go so that you can enjoy these things that you've dreamed about all your life. Wow, this is such a beautiful group. This is so moving. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little choked up. Okay, so let's pull from the Botanical Inspirations deck. I am going to tap Spirit on the shoulder and ask a little bit more about March. I know that you're really forward focused on this big manifestation that's coming for you, but what about March, Spirit? What does group number 1 have to look forward to in the month of March? I just heard big spring forward. So I think spring is going to be a very beautiful time for you. Okay, group number 1. What do they have to look forward to in March? We have Gloxinia, love at first sight and proud spirit. It is so funny that this card came out because there's a quote on here. I don't know if you know this about me. I have 2 master's degrees in Shakespeare. There's a quote on here that they're saying is William Shakespeare, and it's not. But it's so funny that this card, because I always get annoyed when I say that, when I see this, it came out over the knowledge card. Oh my gosh. So maybe you feel like you have to fact check everyone around you, but it feels like it might happen in kind of a goofy, quirky way. So you might have a coworker or a friend around you that just kind of says some goofy stuff sometimes, and it feels like it's going to be much more lighthearted in the month of March. So I'm feeling a lot of laughter here. Oh, we also have for you asters. Oh, I don't see this one very often. Elegance and patience. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Again, the quotes on these cards are touch and go, so who knows who said that? Someone certainly did. Um, okay. And I feel like there's one more for you in here. Sweet Pea! This is my cat's name. She's sleeping next to me. Blissful pleasure. Okay. So in the month of March, I feel like you will have more meaningful and lighthearted companionship. I see a lot of laughter for you, a lot of happiness. So it could have been a pretty trying couple of months leading up to March. 2023 could have been somewhat of a challenge so far. March feels like spacious for you. And part of that spaciousness is you allowing there to be space. So I feel like, forging ahead with this process, whether it's the career change or the big trip, there could have been delays in the past. So there's this sense of like, you've learned to be patient. So maybe there's been a setback before in this very process. And it just feels like you're being very, very reasonable, not only with yourself, but with the universe, and with people around you, that things may not happen right away, and that's okay. That doesn't mean they're not going to happen. Just allowing yourself some grace and the people around you. So it feels like where there was tension, and a lot of this feels like social tension, there's going to be a lot of relaxed faces around you, less furrowed brows, more laughter, more shenanigans. So I'm seeing like a group of friends kind of teasing each other, so that's wonderful. Okay. And I think we are going to end your reading, group number 1, with a message from the Special Book of Hands. What else, Spirit? What is the last parting message you would like to leave group number 1 with for their month of March? Okay. Oh, stick together. Did you see that? I thought there were 2 pages here. I do my best to not look when I'm flipping through. That's so funny. Stick together. I feel like you might reconcile with somebody this month. Because again, I'm seeing this friend group where it used to be pretty uncomfortable. So maybe you all went through something collectively, like at work, or like maybe a group of family members or something. There could have been some kind of conflict. But whatever the situation is that connects you isn't going anywhere this month. So it feels like you are all able to make the best of it. So I'm seeing a big improvement with just the general morale in the group of people that you are interacting with a lot. So that's great news. Again, not feeling so much like I have to protect myself and figure things out all on my own and be on guard. I can see you laughing and teasing each other, which is a big relief because you've got a lot coming up around the month of May. That's going to be a big time for you, group number 1. So rest up while you can and take great care of yourself. I hope that resonated for you. For those of you who chose group number 1 with the Howlite star, you have to let me know what's going on with you. So exciting. Big things coming for you. I'm sending you tons of love and light, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye. And for those of you who choose group number 2 with the pendulum, I believe this is tourmalated quartz. Not 100% sure, it's quite old, but let's go ahead and get your messages for the month of March. I do want to ask for your sacred permission before we get started to connect to your energy and deliver Spirit's messages today. Alrighty, if you are still here, let's go ahead and get into your month of March. This will be your overall theme. What is my group number 2 dealing with, Spirit? Organization number 42, purpose planning efficiency now come to me so easily. Okay. Yeah, groups number 1 and 2 feel a bit connected. So if you are feeling torn between those two, you might want to go back and take a listen or watch group number 1. So I'm definitely getting big time Mercury energy from this. So air signs, Gemini is coming to mind. Lots of thinking, maybe even a tiny bit of philosophy, but more like just figuring out your mental energy and effectively expressing it to someone or just in general. So in other words, I feel like you are organizing your thoughts. And I almost said feelings, but it's almost like an intellectual approach to feelings, if that makes sense. So rationalizing, why do I feel this way? And what does that mean? And how do I need to talk about it? Rather than just being swept up in the feeling. Very much a need to communicate for you this month. So you could be feeling a deep inner calling to put yourself out there in some sense. This could be organizing who you are and then like making that case for someone. So you could be, requesting something or just sharing part of yourself that you are not used to sharing all the time. So if you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're thinking about putting more personalized, vulnerable content out there, or just kind of considering, how do I organize that? How do I want to publish it? What feels best for me? For some of you, I'm seeing like looking through your friends lists in some type of social media. That's a way to organize your thoughts. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, what belongs? What's not really serving me anymore? Or even setting boundaries with big time talkers. So it can be a drain on your energy. It just depends on the person and the circumstance. So let's get your tarot out. We are using this beautiful Enchanted Forest tarot deck. We have some different decks on the table today. Absolutely beautiful. So for group number 2, what is this organization about? Getting a few different interpretations coming through already. What would be most helpful for them to know for this month ahead? For their highest good. I just keep getting like organization as an expression. So I hope that makes sense. An example of this would be, I need to organize a storyline to start writing, or I need to organize what I'm seeing in my head so I can sketch it on paper and then paint watercolor over it. So I hope I'm communicating that clearly, which is kind of ironic. Message about communication, not sure if it's coming through clearly. Okay, wonderful. Let's get 2 more for you. So first out we had the 2 of Swords reversed. Okay. And then underneath that, you might already see the Empress, which might be my favorite card in this deck. There's bunnies, and there's little bunnies over here as well. Okay, we also have for you the Chariot. Oh yeah, there's a sense of urgency here to get this figured out so you can move forward. Lots of inner momentum. And then lastly for tarot, we have the 6 of Wands. Oh, wow. All right, group number 2, it is time to be seen. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, and the Chariot is huge forward. It's almost like you have to decide. You have to, you're like coming to a crossroads and you can feel it internally. So I definitely feel like you are facing something this month, but it almost feels, so it's funny. It feels intimidating, but it's very positive. Um, and with this Two of Swords reversed over here, it's like, no, I don't want to make a choice. I don't want to acknowledge this. It's uncomfortable. I don't want to think about it. But something happens in the month of March. Part of your manifestation starts to come through with the Empress here. You're just attracting this. So if you're an entrepreneur and you are like, I'm not ready for a ton of success, you better get ready because it's coming for you. It's coming for you. And so rather than a scramble, it feels like you are somewhat aware of this internally, and you've naturally started organizing some of this on your own terms. But this is really going to pick up in pace in the month of March, and you're going to just like zoom across the finish line in this beautiful finale, with the Chariot leading into the Six of Wands, which again is public recognition, how others see you, outward expression, people honoring and celebrating you for who you are. This is incredible. I don't know why there's a hesitancy here to face this. Let's start getting into your advice, and then maybe Spirit will kind of guide us there. So what advice do you have for group number 2? This is all good things. What's going on here? Seems like there's a bit of resistance. How can you help and support group number 2 in this month of March? So we have for you, Duck. Find comfort and balance in simple ways. You have support all around you. Of course. And then we also have Robin. New growth and potential is on the horizon. Reach out and embrace it. I feel like you have a beautiful voice as well. So maybe you are working on like a podcast or something where you will be able to be heard verbally. If you aren't already working on that, I feel like expressing yourself verbally is very important this month. Okay. All right, my group number 2s. I feel like you're kind of at a stalemate with yourself because the Duck and the Robin are kind of staring at each other like, I don't want to move. I don't want to move. And over here with the Duck, you know, there's a need to seek comfort, know that you are supported, and kind of relax and allow things to roll off your back, to come to you effortlessly with this Empress energy here, this divine feminine. And then the Robin is like, let's do something new. Let's reach out and grab this opportunity and be victorious. So there's definitely a push and pull going on within you. I would definitely suggest taking a look at balancing your yin and yang energy centers. A practitioner could definitely help out with that, but you know, I'm sure there's like meditations and stuff that you could Google or YouTube. Somewhere in the middle of that is the happy medium that Spirit is wanting to help you achieve for the month of March. And that must be why we are centering on organization. So if you have not finished a vision board or a plan for the year. This is like your last call to get it done. Spirit's like, what? Okay. Okay, so you're not sure what action to take. That's okay. You don't have to know right now. What outcome do you want then? It's like they're trying to meet you somewhere to figure out what it is that you're asking for their support with. And if you haven't already asked for their support, they are dying to support you, so please do. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, they are all here for you. So for some of you here, I feel like there's an important conversation that's coming up. There could be multiple conversations that have been on the back burner that you've been meaning to have, but not sure how to initiate, or even if it's best to initiate it. I think it's time to initiate it. It's time to organize your thoughts, your feelings, discerning what is best to share with the other party, and then having the conversation. I feel like this has been delayed for a very long time, and putting it out in the open, I mean, you have extremely positive cards. So putting this conversation off has really only made you uncomfortable, group number 2. So if you need to tell somebody, you know, that was very hurtful, I don't understand why this happened, are we able to move forward? If you need to tell somebody, I'm sorry. If you need to tell somebody, I forgive you. March is a wonderful time for you to do that. That could be part of what is kind of holding you back. Or at least one blockage that you could easily remove yourself, which we love that. We love a block that is movable, don't we? Okay. On that note, let's get some spirit animals in here. See what type of dynamic you're coming up against. Maybe bring a little clarity about why there is resistance here, and then how we can help ease that resistance. This is definitely a month of self-expression for group number 2, in personal relationships, and for some of you, even publicly. Okay, we have the elephant. That is a MasterCard. MasterCard. Maybe you need to go shopping. Maybe you need to buy yourself something nice. Okay, and then we also have the fox. Alrighty. So you're very clever, very flexible. You're able to kind of navigate things in a way that you don't have to actually have a lot of confrontation in your life. But we're at a crossroads now. So I don't know what this means. If it's like a family member, it could be, somebody's health is coming up and the stakes are higher. That's just one example. It feels like time is running out to say what you need to say. So while this fox energy could be avoidant at times, which, if I can be lovingly honest with you, group number 2, I do feel like it has been a bit avoidant in the past. That could be like a survival tactic. I'm not saying that was the wrong thing to do, but I am acknowledging that Spirit's inviting you, opening the door for something different to transpire for you, to allow you to expand. There's a lot of expansion in here for you. And then the elephant is like divine wisdom, your inner fire, your soul level. Part of your soul is wanting to come forth and not allowing yourself to express your thoughts and your feelings and your needs is like choking out part of that flame. Which, I mean, you can do for, in some situations, yes, but eventually it's just gonna kind of spill forth, you know what I mean? And so again, Spirit's like, let's just make a plan, let's get organized about this, and we're gonna be there for you. You're absolutely going to be safe, held, protected, whatever you need, we're going to be there. And again, I'm seeing an overwhelmingly positive outcome for you. Okay. So, let's take a look at what you have to look forward to in the month of March. I know we're kind of getting into some uncomfortable territory with expressing yourself in a way that you're not used to, having tough conversations, but with a positive outcome. So, what does group number 2 have to look forward to? When this whole month is said and done, what can they have to look forward to? And I'm hearing this is just going to be liberating to get this off of your chest. So this could even be like a conversation that's been scheduled for a while. So like, for example, an annual review, a meeting with some type of professional, maybe a consultant or a lawyer or something like that. So for those of you that is resonating, so I'm seeing the Justice card, that's going to go very positively for you. It's just going to feel like, oh, thank God I don't even have to think about that conversation having to happen anymore. But yes, let's take a look at the other positive things you have to look forward to. And we have for you Gladiola, strength of character and moral integrity. Ooh, I love that. We also have Camellia, destiny. I hope I said that right. I love these botanical cards. And lastly, we have for you Dahlia, dignity. Wow. Very dramatic cards for you. Dramatic's the wrong word, more like intense. Like I can feel the intensity that you've gone through leading up to this moment. So that could be why, the conversation has been delayed or self-expression has been delayed. It feels like part of you does not want something to go wrong or to mess up or leave anything out. Like I can tell that you really truly care about the quality of your expression. But strength of character and moral integrity, I can see here you are an incredibly high quality person and you do not take your words lightly. You are not somebody who speaks without thinking, so that could be why this has taken some time in a good way. But dignity and destiny, I mean, you are destined to be honored in this situation, whether this is sharing part of yourself with the world through your work, through your art, through your expression, or connecting with a loved one or friend or colleague, someone where something can be mended, can be made right again, rebalanced. Definitely getting a lot about divine order with you, group number 2. There's also a very stoic maturity about you that I really enjoy. I don't feel that very often. Yeah, I feel like you are someone who truly thinks about the way your words and actions affect other people. And you take that very seriously, and I love that about you. We need more people like you in this world. All right, so let's get your takeaway message for group number 2. We've talked a lot about their self-expression, potentially some conversations that are going to happen this month. What is the parting message you want to leave group number 2 with, Spirit? Indulge. Oh, that was kind of unexpected. All right. So with indulge, I feel like if you are on some type of health journey or taking a look at your physical activity or what you're eating, please let yourself have what you want every once in a while. I just feel like my beautiful group number 2s, I just feel like you've denied yourself a lot of things. Whether that's the right to speak or to share what you're feeling or to have the attention or to have the food or take a sick day, you know, like this month's about you and figuring out how you can express what needs to come forth in a way that you feel proud of and it comes forth in a way that you feel so good about. That in itself is going to feel like an indulgence, but also like have a good time this month. Okay, so those are your messages for those of you who chose group number 2 with the pendulum. Thank you so much for watching. I will lovingly step back from your energy at this time, sending you tons of love and light, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye. And for my lovely group number 3 who chose the Howlite crescent moon, is that a crescent moon? The moon. Let's go ahead and get your messages for the month of March. I do want to ask for your sacred permission to connect to your energy and deliver Spirit's messages today. All right, let's take a look at what you are stepping into group number 3. And we have for you Passion number 11. This card has been coming up pretty often. I wonder if you have chosen a month ahead reading with Passion before. You will have to let me know because this keeps coming up. Rise Passion, rise up high, inflame my purpose, reach the sky. A little bit of a different message coming through with this Passion card this time. I feel like the month of March for you, it kind of feels like more of an internal passion, a quiet good feeling, if that makes sense. So that could be the smell, the scent of flowers, the taste of a cold beer or a cheeseburger, or the smell of rain, or, you know, petting your dog, something like that. It just feels like simple pleasures adding up to be a big passion for you. So I feel like this is really your passion about living, about your everyday life in this very moment. Not so much focused on a future partner, although I can't deny there's some element of that here. But working towards that, I feel like you are starting to hold that vibration of true contentment, happiness, and peace in your everyday life. So let's take a look at your tarot. We are using this beautiful Enchanted Forest deck. I absolutely love the decks that we've used today. I need to use them more. Oh, okay. Well, what's that about? That was surprising. Although passion can be shocking. No, that didn't feel right. Okay, what else? What else, Spirit? So this came up for another group. So there's a couple universal messages going on here. With group number 1, the Tower came up kind of in a positive way. And you have the Sun. Wow. Interesting, their Tower was also paired with a Leo card. So if you were torn between 1 and 3, I think you should go back and watch that one. There will probably be messages for you there. So, oh my gosh. The Tower and the Sun, what a duo. Definitely feeling some extremes for you, group number 3. And then we have a bunch of cards spill across the table. We will take the ones that flipped. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Then I usually don't take reversals, but this clearly was. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So, okay. I feel like we are focusing on simple pleasures and cultivating joy and passion for living your own life, because I feel like things have been so hot and cold for you lately. So cycling between what if I miss it? What if I don't meet him? Or what if this isn't going to happen for me? What if I never fall in love again? Okay, fine, maybe I don't even need to be in a relationship. To the next day, maybe you flirt with someone like, oh, I could definitely fall in love. This could be amazing. But it just, it's like feast or famine is what it feels like in the emotional body. So to balance these very extremes, hot and cold, there might be some emotional purging going on in your emotional body. So definitely take a look there and see if there could be a blockage that could be dissolved for you, or maybe something needs to be rebalanced, because that's a lot. That's very intense. So this could be like crying or being really pissed off and angry and wanting to verbally fight, to crying tears of joy and just feeling so elated and so in touch with spirit. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like you're on a roller coaster here. And passion is like that. It is, but I feel like spirit's like, let's ground this a little bit with these pentacles. So with the Ace of Pentacles, that's definitely pointing towards a real, tangible manifestation or offer that's coming through for you in the month of March. This could be some type of payment. This could often point to like a payout, a bonus, a gift, something that's like no strings attached. The Ace cards are like the purest form of that energy. So if you think of Pentacles as like physical possessions, money, it's usually like some kind of monetary gift that is just given to you. So wonderful. Maybe that gives you the opportunity to focus somewhere else other than this, other than all this emotional stuff going on for you. Maybe you're able to plan ahead for something or purchase something that you've really wanted to or have been looking forward to for a long time. And then with the 8 of Pentacles reversed, let me get one clarification card over there. I'm getting something. I just want to make sure that's right. Could you clarify the 8 of Pentacles, please? And we have the Devil reversed. Yes, okay, I was correct. So with the 8 of Pentacles reversed, I feel like there's some work that needs to be done still that we might not want to look at. Like, no, I have worked so long on myself and my emotional body. Yeah, I'm all over the place. I don't know why that's going on, but I've done my work. I've done enough. And it just feels like there's something else. There's something else that's coming up. With the devil reversed, again, it's kind of similar. It's almost like not wanting to acknowledge that something is off or something's not quite right. This, with the devil, there could be vices at play. So that could be like overindulging in substances, that could be food, drinking. It could even be like fantasizing in a way that's not really serving you anymore. And it's not to say that those things can't be enjoyed in moderation, but when there's excess, it becomes a drain over here. So this might actually exacerbate this over here. So for example, if you're like, oh, I'm so stressed, I don't know why I'm so pissed today, I'll go have a beer. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if it's just like one, and then you have a glass of water and you go home, that's okay. But if it turns into like, 2 hours at a bar, I don't know. Spirit's like, we want better for you. We want better for you. Okay, let's start getting some advice for you, group number 3. They are coming in hot. Although I can see that you've been really going through it. My goodness. Advice for group number 3. Dealing with very intense emotional purging. Okay, I thought a second one flipped in there. We'll get another one for you, but we have the owl. That's what your feather looks like. Your intuition is correct. Follow your inner wisdom without fail. We also have for you white turkey. The power to heal the earth is within you. This needs to go here, doesn't it? Yes. Okay. Let me just sit with this for a moment. So over here, very clearly, I'm getting in connection with the sun. The sun is also a third eye card for me. I know everybody's a little bit different in the way they think of tarot cards, but the sun is associated with the third eye chakra for me. And with the owl being here, your intuition is correct when you are feeling happy, when you are feeling grateful, when you're feeling light and joyful. That's correct. You're on the right track there. Yes, this other stuff is working out in the background, and that's okay. And this message has come out a couple times in other groups as well, but it's almost like the highs that you're experiencing are so high that it almost feels like, is this too good to be true? Could being in love be this good? I feel that a lot of you who have come to this group are planning ahead for a relationship, just to be totally honest with you. But, it could be a better relationship with yourself for others of you who have come to group number 3. But when you are feeling those moments of peace, of comfort, of contentment, you're on the right track there. In that state, a lot of wisdom is coming through. Okay, there's the connection. So if you can, voice record yourself, journal during those times when you're having a great day, there's a lot of divine inspiration that is able to flow through you during those times. And then with the white turkey, I feel like either you are a very powerful healer, so you may be attuned to some type of modality like Reiki, shamanism, something like that, and you are able to work on these blockages yourself, or you are connected with great healer friends who can help you out. So that's acknowledging that that pattern, that some work that we might not be acknowledging that needs to be done. And for those of you who that resonates, you will have started to see evidence of that. So again, an example would be like drinking too much or eating too much to the point where you're feeling uncomfortable and wondering, why am I doing that? You know what I mean? And kind of escaping uncomfortable thoughts and feelings instead of really sitting with them and working through them, which is what you would typically do. I just feel like you are feeling a lot. You're just feeling everything right now. And so kindness towards yourself is so crucial right now. So please don't beat yourself up about this. That is the last thing anybody, including myself, as well as in spirit, and angels and ancestors, that is the last thing we would want you to do, is beat yourself up. Okay, let's take a look at what energies and spirit animals are showing up for you for group number 3. Okay, that was fast. We have the bee, one of my favorite cards. So beautiful and adorable. We also have for you, let's get one more for group number 3. Yes. The dolphin. Look how beautiful your spirit animals are. And how beautiful that looks with the color of the passion card. So I feel like this tower moment under here, this like turmoil that you are experiencing, I think you probably do an excellent job of keeping that to yourself. I don't think many people would know that you're going through that. So you have just such a beautiful aura. You have such a beautiful energy about you. With the bee, I feel like you are happiest when you are busy, when you have a project to work on, when you have something to focus on. So if you aren't already focusing on something, this could be a clue. These vices showing up, this kind of avoidant pattern showing up. It could be, picking up a project that you had set down, or focusing on something that truly makes you happy, maybe even something creative, writing, painting, speaking, expression, something like that will really help these negative cycles over here kind of calm down and be a little less loud and troubling. And then with the dolphin, I think you are just so excited and curious about what's coming next. You want to leap for joy. And then when you realize that it's not here yet, it's like, oh, I'm so lonely. So I really feel for you. You're just so genuine. And I feel like you feel things with your entire being, which is just such a precious quality to have. So we're going to focus in on a little more advice and some positive things for you to look forward to. But I was just seeing the dolphin kind of going through the waves rather than having the waves take her under. It's like part of her existence is understanding that there's waves and not being totally ruled by them, if that makes sense. Being able to roll with them and even play in them is something that's really beautiful energy that the dolphin can bring. So let's take a look at the positive things that you have to look forward to, group number 3, for your month of March. Any last advice, words of wisdom from Spirit? Oh my gosh. I don't know if the camera caught all that, but a lot of these flipped over. And the wind is going crazy. I wonder if you heard that. Oh my gosh. There were way too many of these that flipped over, Spirit, so I'm going to shuffle these again and kindly ask for 3. I know you have a lot to say to group number 3, but let's choose 3 of these, please. Okay. Trumpet Gentian. Trumpet Gentian. Okay, power and healing. Oh, okay, that's perfect. So we have the white turkey over here. Let's see. I love the indigo color of that flower. Again, bringing to mind your intuition, your third eye, really being lit up this month. Okay. All right, we'll take these. It's a lot, though. Your spirit guides have a lot to say to you, by the way. So if you haven't had like a proper meeting with them in a long time, or even if you have, they want to have another one. We have hibiscus, beauty and happiness. Fits beautifully with the bee. Hibiscus, for me personally, can also bring up women's issues and women's health. So if something is going on with your health, please do see your doctor or your gynecologist. Definitely take a look at that and really acknowledge how you're feeling. You also chose the moon, so this could have to do with some type of feminine cycle, not only of purging emotionally, but there could be something physically going on that you are worried about or noticing. Maybe a news cycle. This could be something that's super positive. I don't mean to scare you. This would just be validating. If this is, basically what I'm saying is, if this is pertinent to you, you will know. This is not a warning for you. Okay? So just totally making that clear. I never do that in readings. Never, ever. We also have for you Daffodil, Rebirth and New Beginnings. And the sun is a card of rebirth, definitely makes sense. Lastly, we have Anemone, Anticipation. Yes, definitely feel that with you, group number 3. You feel like this beautiful childlike energy that's like, I'm so excited, I can hardly stand it. Like you just don't even know what to do with yourself. You're so excited about this new passion coming in, whether it's, a renewed zest for life or belief that love is on the horizon. But Spirit is definitely wanting to ground you a bit, assist you with healing, reminding you to take care of your body when you are seeing old patterns coming up of overindulgence or avoidance, to take a look at that because you are worth working through that. But just beautiful spread for you, group number 3. I am so excited for you. I hope that you are. I can feel you are. But let's get your parting message for your month of March. Okay, Spirit, what parting message do you want to leave group number 3 with? Go slow. Oh, I feel like you don't typically do that. Oh, a different type of challenge for you, group number 3. Go slow. Yeah, so rather than instant gratification, feeling good now, having to deal with it later, definitely feeling a change in pace for you. But in a way that doesn't feel boring or heavy, it just feels grounded and more, I don't want to say more practical, but you're able to process things as they happen to you, as you experience them. I feel like typically you might live your life in some type of a whirlwind where you're not quite sure what happened and you're having to review things, but this is different. Spirit's saying, let's make deliberate choices about what happens next. Okay, so those were your messages. If you chose group number 3 with the Moon Howlite Crystal, I will lovingly step back from your energy at this time. I'm so excited for you. You have to let me know if that resonated. I'm sending you tons of love and light, and I will see you very, very soon. Have a wonderful month and take care of yourself. Bye.